Hey,
Oh, hey.
how's it going?
Great.
Getting a lot of stuff done today.
Oh yeah, you got one of your lists going?
Of course.
You know me.
Am I on it?
Hmm?
Your list, am I on it?
Of course you are.
Nice. Am I at the top?
Yes, of course. You're at the top of all my lists.
So, what about later? You want to catch a movie?
Sorry. I have such a long list of stuff to do today. Remember I
Okay.
told you? You know how I get.
Oh, I don't know.
Rain check?
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll probably just watch a game, drink beer, that kind of thing. Yeah.
So, how'd it go at the bank today?
Oh. Don't get me started on the bank.
This is absolutely the greatest story in the entire history of storytelling, if not the world.
I don't want to oversell it. This is the it's like the storytelling gods, the skies just opened up and this situation just landed on my lap just for you to hear
Right now, at this exact moment,
you better get comfortable. I'm going to get comfortable.
you just hang on a second. So I walk in there, past this lady with her dog.
A dog, like, do you have to bring your dog into the bank with you? When did that become acceptable? You can't tie him up to a post outside? He's not a service dog or anything. He's a companion dog. You can tie him up outside.
Now I gotta worry about whether this thing wants to rub up against me, sniff my crotch or some other goddamn thing.
So anyway, I get into the lineup and there's like exactly 17 people in line in front of me. Like, I didn't even think people went to the bank anymore. What are 17 people doing in this lineup? There are 2 tellers and there are 2 people, bank employees behind the tellers
That sort of just stand there and pretend that they might be tellers.
but they're not quite tellers, you know what I'm saying? So they're bank employees that are very visible to the 17 customers that are waiting in line. They don't actually step up to a wicket and help anybody and make this godforsaken line move any faster.
So you know how a bank lineup usually only has old people or people with ridiculous problems?
Yeah, this one had 17 old people, all with ridiculous problems. Are you vacuuming?
No. Why?
I thought I heard something. Anyways, we've got Teller on the left who's dealing with some old guy and, he's just trying to get her to explain his bank statement to him, but she's really just trying to tell him that he should get a pair of glasses so he can read it himself. And then we've got the teller on the right
Who's just so stoked about her fucking azaleas that are blooming like gangbusters now that she switched to this new fertilizer.
and it's hot. It's so hot. The AC must not be working, and it's just like hotter than like 2 rats, fucking in a sock.
So then this old guy starts saying what everybody else is thinking, but just too polite to say. He's like, Jesus, I can't believe this lineup.
Oh, I've been banking here for 35 years. This is so disrespectful. And all this kind of stuff, right? And I agree with everything he's saying, but at the same time, I can see him looking around the lineup trying to rally up support, and I'm trying to avoid making eye contact with him, which was unsuccessful. And so now he thinks we're buddies. So he's, do you believe this?
Oh, this is awful. Oh, I can't believe, 35 years.
And then he starts talking about other stuff like his kids, and I'm just like, man, how do I get out of this? So then I see the coffee maker over there, and there's just,
Complimentary coffee for people in the lineup. And I'm thinking, well, this is kind of good.
So I got the lady in front of me to save my spot in line, and I went over to the coffee maker, and I thought, okay, perfect. Now I've totally
Gotten out of this conversation with crazy guy, and I haven't had a coffee yet. This is a win-win situation. My day's starting to look up big time.
So I grabbed the carafe, and isn't there just like a quarter of a cup of coffee in there? And I'm like, man, it's so disappointing.
But then teller number 2, who's helping the lady with the azaleas, is like, oh dear, is it empty?
Oh, I should come over and make another pot of coffee for I'll be over there in just a jiffy. And I'm like, no.
Do not come over here and make me coffee and make 17 people wait in line up with what... I didn't say this, I was just thinking it.
So I was just like, no. I don't need coffee. I'm just going to get back into line. Thank you very much.
So finally these 2 tellers have finished with their customers and they've taken on another 2. So we're down to 15 people in front of me, which is great progress.
And just then, a huge bug flies in, like something not of this hemisphere, like something that you would see at the zoo behind the plexiglass.
Like flies in. This thing is massive, enormous, and it's just setting everybody in line,
including the dog who's, barking and fidgeting. And now these two tellers feel like they've got to team up and solve this problem.
In lieu of actually helping customers, they're trying to catch this bug to calm the customers down. So
this bug flies up into the top corner behind them, and they're pushing a chair towards the corner
so a guy can stand up and try and whack the bug with the newspaper.
But the chair's on wheels. Like, the guy's gonna fall over and break his neck. I don't understand the approach, but they get it over there.
He stands up on the thing. He doesn't fall and break his neck, but the bug does fly away,
leaving him up there like an asshole. So, anyway.
He'd have been better off throwing the empty carafe of coffee at him, I think.
And the thing that gets me is that there's got to be like 12 bank employees in the back. Every so often you see one of them, scurry up to the front, grab a piece of paper off the printer,
scurry back into their office. They're like cockroaches, man. Like, nobody wants to help out. They're just back there doing their own thing. But I don't see any customers back there. It's not these two people's fault that are at the wickets. There's only two of them. Anyway, let's recap.
Nobody makes me a coffee. Nobody steps up to the wicket to help.
And nobody catches this bug.
I feel like I've been there for 5,000 million hours, and then it happens.
What happens?
So just when I get to the front of the line,
this guy comes in with a gun and a mask, and he's like, "Everybody put your hand behind your head and hit the ground!" And that's when I snapped. I'm like, no way. No fucking way. I did not wait this fucking long in this goddamn lineup to have you come in here and rob the fucking bank before I get my certified check.
Fucking dog licks in my shoes, fucking can't get a cup of coffee, fucking bugs flying around everywhere, fucking old guy chopped me up, no. And you?
Now you? No fucking way. You're not fucking doing this. You do it after I get my fucking check.
Then what?
Well, craziest thing, yeah, man, I mean,
he just kind of like hung back and told the teller to get me my check before he robbed the bank.
Shut up.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
I mean, after the adrenaline left my body, I was pretty scared, but by then I'd already left.
Did you call the police?
The police?
No, it's just not good form. I mean, the guy helped me get my check. Like, why am I going to call the police? I think he did it with the understanding that I wouldn't call the police,
That's so great. Good for you. So the story had a happy ending. Yay.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah. How about you? You got to get to doing that list now.
Yeah, you know me.
Okay. Well, listen, I'll call you tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
From my past, brought me running back.